This is Kathy Bean, and today she's going to be taking us through a great recipe. We're making some fruit and yogurt muffins, so let's get started.
Okay, this is a really good recipe. It's real simple. First thing I'm going to do is I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and I'm going to add a cup of all-purpose flour into my mixing bowl. I'm going to have a mixing bowl full of dry ingredients, and I'm going to have another mixing bowl full of wet ingredients. So I have a cup of all-purpose flour. The original recipe called for 2 cups of all-purpose flour, but we are substituting one of those cups of all-purpose flour with some whole wheat flour, and it's a great way to add a whole grain into this recipe.
Great, and add some fiber.
Also, we have a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a cup of just granulated sugar.
Okay.
Right, so we're going to mix this all together, our dry ingredients. And then we're going to move over to the mixing bowl where we will have our wet ingredients. So I have 4 tablespoons of butter that we've just zapped in the microwave.
Easy enough.
Very simple. And I have 1 egg. Have some vanilla flavoring, about a teaspoon. This will give us some flavor.
Okay.
And then I have an 8-ounce carton of low-fat blueberry yogurt.
And of course, this would count as a serving from the milk group on the food guide pyramid. 1 cup of yogurt, and we're going to get some calcium and vitamin D in this recipe from the yogurt.
Okay, so we are going to add the yogurt in. Also, by choosing things that are low fat, saves us on our calories and our fat grams, so that's always a good idea.
Great.
To read the label and see exactly what it is that we are getting.
Absolutely.
Mix all of our wet together. And this is considered this recipe is considered a quick bread. By quick bread, we mean that it doesn't use yeast as a leavening agent. We're using baking powder. And so the thing about quick breads are we don't want to overmix them.
Right.
If we overmix them, they'll turn out tough. So we're putting our wet ingredients in with our dry. And we're going to fold our ingredients together. And so the way we fold is we're just going to run our spatula along the outside of the bowl and just turn our wrist and fold under. Usually about 10 strokes. We'll bring it all together. Again, we don't want to overmix.
Right.
Okay. It's all coming together nicely. It is a little bit dry, so it's okay. I'm going to add just a little bit of water.
Okay.
Give us some moisture.
Nice trick.
Right. And you know, this would be great to make up a batch of these and have for your kids when they come in from school. Makes a great after-school snack.
Yeah, or have it for breakfast.
And grab one on the way as you go out the door, go and eat it in your car on the way to work.
Right. Once you've got them and you've made them, they're just an easy on-the-go for breakfast or for a snack.
And they taste good, too.
Can't wait.
I have 2 cups of blueberries that we're going to add in. And the thing about berries, if you use fresh berries, you buy them typically in the grocery store and bring them home and put them in the fridge. And we don't want to wash berries in advance because they tend to mold after they're in the refrigerator very long. So we just want to pull them out and rinse them off right before we're going to use them. Also, frozen blueberries are a great choice. In fact, these are frozen blueberries. And you know, blueberries, typically the frozen ones are picked at the peak of freshness and flash frozen, and so they retain all the nutrients.
Right, so they're still power-packed with nutrition, and I like that you said that because I like to get the frozen berries. It's nice because you don't have to worry about them going bad. You can keep them in the freezer and they're on hand, and it's nice that you have that option for using these in this recipe.
And they taste so good.
They make it pretty, that bright color.
Okay, so I have 24 muffin tins that this recipe will fill, and I have sprayed these in advance with a little bit of non-stick vegetable spray, and so we're just going to divide those up, and it will make 24 muffins, and you know, each muffin is only 110 calories and 2 grams of fat.
Ooh, that's great.
So,
sounds like a bargain. That'd be worth it.
And they're good. So we'll go ahead and fill our muffin tins now.
Okay. And looking at this purple color, it just reminds me that a lot of times the nutrition that we get from fruits and from vegetables is related to the color, like the antioxidants that you mentioned in these blueberries. And antioxidants can help slow the aging process. They can also help protect against certain kinds of cancer. So it's nice that we have these blueberries that are full of nutrition that we're using here in this recipe.
Blueberries also help with memory function.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So we all need that. We're just about there. We've got all of our muffin tins filled, and you know, I'm just doing them about halfway. Of portion control is very important.
I agree.
And so I'm going to put these in the oven now. We have our oven 350 degrees.
Well, they look great. I'm looking forward to tasting one of them.
And they are good. Okay, so 25 minutes and they'll be ready to eat.
Great.
And don't they look good?
They do, they look great. And I think it's important that we used a lot of nutrient-rich ingredients in this recipe, including the yogurt, where we got the calcium and the vitamin D. And I like that you mentioned that we used a low-fat yogurt, which is important because it cuts back on the amount of solid fat that we use. And a serving from the milk group in the food guide pyramid is considered a low-fat or fat-free serving of milk or yogurt. And that is important because, like I said, it cuts back on the calories and fat. And also, if we do choose a full-fat version, it counts as part of the discretionary calories.
Right.
So we always want to try to cut back on that when possible. And you know, Kathy, I think I'm going to have mine with a glass of milk to really boost the calcium intake. You know, we mentioned that this recipe is a great one for a snack, for kids, for adults alike. Our next recipe that we're going to be making is a banana berry smoothie, which is another one that tends to be a kid's favorite that they can also help make. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Yum.